Hey everybody, I'm Jer. Welcome back to Stock Voyager. Okay, so DWAC is yet again rising, spiking up, whatever you want to call it. The stock price is going up, and I want to take a minute to explain to you what's happening, why it's happening, and then also look into if maybe you should think about getting in yet, or if you should hold off, or if you should trade the stock, or if you should swing the stock, or what you should do, if anything. Okay, let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and look here. No Kim. Okay, so starting off, DWAC. Actually, let's go back here. Okay, starting off, DWAC is a company that was formed. It's called a blank check company, which is a SPAC. You can Google that. It's a blank check company. Basically, they've gone through all the process of what an IPO would do to be listed on the stock market. So they've gone through the steps, supposedly the needed steps to be able to be listed on the stock market. So they are listed. They have an agreement with Trump Media, and I think it's called Trump Media and Technology, tech company. So they have an agreement that this Trump Media company will list using this blank check company, DWAC, which is Digital Acquisition, Digital World Acquisition Corp, I think is what it is. So DWAC, that's a stock symbol. So this DWAC is not Trump yet. It's not Trump Media yet. It will be that the stock will become that, but it has a process to go through first. The companies have got to basically merge and then de-SPAC to become Trump Media. And I'm not for sure what the symbol of Trump Media will be, but basically there's already something there. It's just not that thing yet. So if we go now and we look, and apparently, let's actually Google this. Today, Trump Media. So, Trump to launch a social media app in February, listing shows. So, that app is kind of the first step in Trump company, in the Trump Media company. What you have to understand is that usually for SPACs, most times, SPACs, blank check companies, are there for a company that already exists, that's already making revenue, that's already in operation to go public. Trump is not that company yet. Trump Media is not that company yet. Trump, the hotels and stuff is a totally different thing. It's not, Trump Hotels is run by Trump, but that's not going to be a part of what this is, what this stock is. So you're going to have Trump Media forming a company. They're working on making a company now, but it doesn't exist yet. I mean, it exists in essence, but it doesn't have revenue. There's nothing out yet for it. Now, this Trump Media app that you see here will be the first thing of that company. The Trump Media app is going to be Truth Social. So that will be the first thing from this company. Now then, I say, in my opinion, I'm not telling you what to do. I'm not your financial advisor. But in my opinion, if you want to invest in Trump Media, if you are a Trump fan and you're like, I can't wait to invest in Trump Media, your money is best. If you're politics aside, your money is best used for a SPAC, whenever you do a SPAC, to wait until all of the terms are disclosed and you know how many shares there are, and who owns what, if there's a lockup period, and you know, like, all of everything that is going to kind of come. Like, you have an idea of what is set to come. So you aren't just blindly just throwing money at something. Something I want to do with my channel here is to make sure that that we do the stock market together, that we understand, that I hopefully can help people understand what's going on so they can make educated decisions instead of just throwing their money at something and hoping to make money back. Because it doesn't work that way. I mean, sometimes it does, but most of the time it doesn't work that way. So I want you to make educated choices. So if you are somebody that wants to long-term invest in Trump media, I personally don't, but if you are that person, I want you to make an educated decision, investment decision about when to get into that company. Because if you're investing, you're planning on putting your money in and hopefully seeing your money grow and seeing a return. You're not just throwing your money at something hoping that something works. And so I want you to make an educated decision about that investment. Now then, if you're trading, feel free, like you see a spike or you see some news or whatever, obviously do whatever you want, like, get in, get out, whatever. Usually if you're trading, you don't want to hold overnight. You want to get in, at a decent price, and then get out once the price rises, spikes up, get out and be done. You don't want to hold overnight because anything can happen overnight and things go crazy in the morning and blah, so I wouldn't advise holding overnight, but maybe if that's what you want to do it. So yeah, you want to make an educated decision about when to get in if you're investing. If you're trading or swinging, then you do whatever you feel is right based off of technicals. And you should know what technicals are, and you should know how to look at a graph and be able to see, a chart, and be able to see what the trends are and how to work that. So if you don't know what you're doing with that, I don't advise it. But if you're wanting to invest, make a smart decision. Now, what you need to know, first things first, is that Trump has Trump Media has gone to get a PIPE investor. That PIPE investor gave Trump Media $1 billion. In return for that $1 billion, that investor, that PIPE investor, receives shares that can convert to 29,761,905 shares at a price of $33.60. So, as a PIPE investor, I don't know if they'll have a lockup or not, because we don't know the full terms of the Trump SPAC with DWAC. But if there's not a lockup, then that PIPE investor, they can possibly just get out right away as soon as the merger is done. If that is the case, you will see 29 million shares come onto the market right away, if they choose to do that, if there's nothing locking them in to keep them in there for however long, like a lockup period. So, and they bought these shares at $33. So anything above $33, and there's a lot of shares, they can then sell this and make a profit. Let's say it's trading at 60, they're making almost 100% profit right off the bat. They can sell and just take it. They've made $1 billion on top of their $1 billion, and they're good to go. And they don't care about what investors are left with, what everybody else is left with. They got theirs. So you need to be careful. So what you need to do, if you're planning on getting into this, is you need to know what's going on with the company. You need to wait for the final agreement to come out so you can have the full details of what the agreement is, how many shares there are in total, because this already adds 29 million shares to what is listed. Let me look it up here. What is listed as, it looks like 37 million shares outstanding plus this. So you end up with like 60 million shares, if I understand it correctly. It looks like about, no, it ends up with about 67 million shares. So you have to be careful. Wait for the SEC filing to show, because there will be one that shows what their final deal is. There'll probably be a vote and all this other stuff. So you want to know what's going on with it. If you're planning on investing long term, you want to know what's going on with it, and you want it to kind of settle and find support before jumping in. because a lot of times, even with IPOs, companies will list, they'll spike up, people will sell, and then it kind of comes down and finds kind of a support or um, a support that is a good entry level, and then you can enter and hold long term. Something else you want to know is that Devin Nunes, who was a congressman, is going to be the CEO of Trump Media Company. The concern here is that Devin Nunes is a cow farmer. Like, he was a congressman, he was a GOP representative. He was a congressman, Nunes. I believe he's a congressman, right? Why am I not here? Yeah, I believe he was just a congressman. I don't think he was a senator. Uh, he has no experience leading a tech company. So that is problem number one. Like, that's kind of a big problem. That's an issue. So he has no leadership of any kind of tech company, and he was a cow farmer. That's what he did. Like, that's what he was before, and while being a congressman. So that's kind of concerning. And so you kind of want to know what other leadership will be coming in with this Trump media company. Donald Trump will probably be chairman, I believe, but that could even change. So you want to know what other leadership is going to be coming in. What kind of experience do they have in technology field, in tech industry? Because you're going to need tech leaders to lead a tech company, in my opinion. Maybe I'm wrong. Second issue, uh, Trump's SPAC deal leads to fraud lawsuit. Uh, so this person, private equity investor Brian Shevland, is suing the CEO of the blank check company DWAC, claiming a brazen act of fraud. The big picture lawsuit comes just a week after digital DWAC, led by Patrick Orlando, disclosed that it's under investigation by federal securities regulators. It also comes several months before Trump company is slated to launch its first public products. What the problem here is that the company is already, this blank check company is already being sued. The outcome that this person that is suing them wants is for him to be able to buy shares at 0.003 cents a piece, compared to the SPAC IPO price of $10, which is what it started out. It was $10, and the current market price of $51.33. It's actually up from there right now to 60 something. So this leads to another problem. The complaint suggests that the conversation between Orlando and Trump began months before DWAC went public, which could violate federal securities law, which could become a problem for Trump Media becoming a public company, and regulations once they become a company, if they become a company, and what that means for shareholders. Because usually if something like this happens and they are found to have commit fraud, stock price drops. Because there's a chance that they could be delisted and other things could come about from this that are not great. The next thing is that Trump's SPAC social media has missed their initial deadline. They originally said they were going to release True Social, a beta version of that in November. That didn't happen in November. We are now in January and it still hasn't happened. So now they have moved the date to February. We'll see what happens. There's no telling. So I'm telling you all of this not to tell you not to invest, not to tell you not to trade the stock. If there was decent news and I knew for sure I wouldn't get stuck in it, I would probably trade it just to be able to make money. Like, okay, I do that with a lot of stocks. This one's no different. I just ignored, what it is and go with it. But I don't plan on investing in them. But if you plan on investing in them, please, please, please wait until there's more news about the SEC filing disclosing like the full agreement and what comes next, and so that you can have a good idea of what you're doing, and you're not just throwing your money at something that could be a billion shares, and then once it goes live, a billion shares go live with it, and that stock, the $3 billion or whatever it's valued at, then becomes trading at $60 becomes $3, and you're stuck having bought shares at $60 that are now worth $3. You don't want that. So be careful, wait it out. If you're investing, in my opinion, get I'm not your financial advisor. You can do whatever you want. If you feel like, oh, well, this is going to do great, I don't have to worry about the agreement, I don't have to worry about the SEC filings, I'm just going to get in, go for it. I'm not going to push buy for you. I'm not going to push sell for you. You do you. I'm just telling you news and SEC filings and press releases and showing you where we're at right now and telling you how I feel. Just opinion, not financial advice. You do what you want to do. Just know that if you're investing, there's a lot of risk here and you need to wait it out. I would wait it out if I were planning on investing. I would wait it out until everything is de-SPACed and it finds a good place. And I know there's not going to be an offering. I know that there's not a lockup period coming up for an end. And I know that I'm getting I have a good entry level, good entry price, and that the stock has found support. That's important. But again, you do what you want to do. I'm just telling you how I feel. Yeah, that is all I got. I love you all so much. If you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe. I try to do a video every day talking about stocks, except for maybe on Saturday and Sunday whenever there's nothing really going on, unless I have thoughts that I want to share. Sometimes I do multiple videos, but you can find all those here. Yeah. All right. I love you all so much, and I will see you very soon. Bye. Mwah.